What's up, guys? My name is Will Fonseca. I've been studying technical analysis for a number of years now. I'm a swing trader. I don't trade every day. I like to wait for those sniper opportunities to get in and get out. I like to look for the buy zone, support and resistance. I love to study the charts. I love to study some of the top companies and see how they're doing on the charts. Right now, this channel is not too much about the fundamental analysis of how the companies are doing in terms of earnings and profits. This channel is mainly going to be about seeing what these companies are doing in the charts, if they're in a buy zone, if they're in a resistance zone, getting the best opportunities to go in, get some profits and come out. Like I said, this is not like a 5-minute trading channel. That's not what I do. I like to trade here and there when the situation is perfect. And also some of these companies, I like to dollar cost average when I see the opportunity is right. So let's get going into this show here. We're going to start with Tesla. As you can see, I have on the screen now, Tesla broke out. It was hitting on the daily a couple of days ago. Let me see, October 20th. The RSI, the stochastic, was all the way at the bottom. And I knew there was going to be a bounce, but I did not know the bounce was going to be to this extent. I mean, it went up. Let's see the bar here. It went up a good 24% in just a couple of days. And right now it's almost at $270. Now, if we go on the weekly, as you can see, the stochastic RSI is starting to turn up. The regular RSI is at 61% heading north. And in the RSI, you could see it starts to hit some resistance in the past at about 82, 85. That's when you should probably start thinking of taking some profits, and that might be a correction. And I think things are lining up for Tesla to hit $300 sometime soon. And at $300, that's usually where the resistance is going to come in and maybe some sell pressure. As you can see in the stochastic, the blue line is starting to move up, and you want to see what you want to see is that the blue line moving up, crossing the red, and that will be kind of signaling a continuation of this uptrend, this new uptrend that's started very aggressively. Tesla had been in this kind of down channel. There had been this trend line here. It had been hitting this trend line here a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It got rejected here, and then it finally broke out. It retested, and now we're seeing a bounce. And now we're going to see some possible resistance at $300. So it's a good chance to, this is not financial advice, by the way. I'm just seeing, I'm just calling what I'm seeing here. I could see this going to $300. It's a risky time to get in this Tesla trade because you already missed the breakout. Now the question is, how far can this run before seeing a correction? Moving on to Nvidia. Nvidia is still making its way up. It started another uptrend a couple, like in the early September. It started a new wave, and now I feel like that wave might be. This is very interesting because if you look at the 2-week, this just crossed up. And it still has the stochastic crossed up, and it still has a ways to go. So there's a possibility that in the short term, we might see a correction. But in the long term, I mean, it's crazy to say it, but Nvidia could keep running for a while now. This is the 3-week chart. And as you can see, these lines on the stochastic are just starting to move up. The regular RSI is at 70, which means it could probably go back up to like 86 before we see another major correction. So in the short term, let's see what we're doing here. In the short term, we might see Nvidia revisit that 130 mark before bouncing back up. Now, as you can see, these are the moving averages. This is the 20. The price really doesn't like to go too far from the moving average. So at some point, we're going to see the price revisit this moving average territory. As you can see, it's really been bouncing back and forth between this moving average, the 20, and I do feel like we might be seeing Nvidia reaching maybe 131 at some point. This is on the 2-day chart, and the stochastic is definitely oversold. We might be seeing that come back down, retesting this before bouncing back up. But overall, the momentum is still there for Nvidia, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Nvidia hitting 150 at some point. The next one is let me see, Hersheys. Hersheys is one that I've been keeping an eye out on because it's hitting this major support area here. Let's zoom in to the weekly. And as you can see in the weekly, it's been bouncing off this support area for a long time, for a whole year now. So it hits this area, bounces, hits this area, bounces again. And so this is kind of like, even though it's a range bound chart, you could still make some money off of this because every time it seems to bounce down here, it recovers and bounces up to like around the $200 mark. But you still have to be careful because it's bounced here so many times that eventually it could break that resistance, that support to the downside, because in the 2-week, we're still seeing that downward pressure on the stochastic RSI. So we have to be careful with that. If I'm going in this trade, I would definitely put a stop loss somewhere here. You should always use a stop loss, but definitely use a stop loss here. I'm in this trade as a swing trade myself. I'm not recommending anybody to do it, but because, like I said, it is kind of risky considering in the 2-week we're still seeing some pressure going to the downside. But for me, I'm willing to take the risk with a stop loss because I do believe we're going to be bouncing to the upside. Anyway, guys, that's my clip for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos. Let me know which stocks you'd like me to cover, what charts you'd like me to cover. Thanks for watching. My name is Will Fonseca. See you guys later. Peace.